So essentially, there are six archetypes of characters that are like classes from D&D, and each character has six stats, which is also similar to D&D. The difference is the stats are something like 3 or 4 or 5, like that. That tells you how many dice you're going to roll. So if a stat is, so let's say you're trying to lift something up, you're going to use the first one, which is grit. It's the fist. It's like strength. So you'd roll 3 dice and you're looking for fist to show up on those 3 dice. And you need a number of successes equal to or greater than the challenge rating, which, is determined by me or the game or whatever. So you're going to roll that many dice and try to get as many successes as possible. The talent die is an 8-sided die, and it's mostly got 5-pointed stars on it, which is going to give you another success in whatever it is you're rolling. So if you fail your roll and you have some weird symbols that show up that looks like a purple eye, what happens is the doom clock ticks up. And that's what I have. Well, that's part of my storytelling, is that as things ramp up, worse things are going to happen. So you can imagine if this was a slasher that we were playing, the lights suddenly go out, or, someone stumbles and breaks their leg, So there are really 4 cycles of the doom clock. They're in 15-minute increments, and the minutes are referring to abstractly. That's just on the doom clock. It's not in game time. So each of you will have 1 talent die in a particular characteristic. If you're a fighter type, you've got it in grit. If you're a smart person, you've got it in whatever the yellow brain is called, smarts or something, right? And you can roll that talent die in addition, and then you'll probably get a bonus success with that. So we're playing the Wild West.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
Oh my God, I love it.
Not alien parasites then.
It could be.
No,
I mean, they're still confused.
It can be anything we want it to be.
Okay.
And Marissa, you're going for
the
weird curse, right? So the interesting thing about all of that person's abilities is whenever you use an ability, you're going to click up the doom clock because you have really powerful abilities, but that accelerates the game.
Okay. Cool.
All right. Does that sound good with everybody? All right. So, Elizabeth, you are the socialite con man, and Audrey, you're the scholar surgeon, and Marissa, you're the weird, the cursed. Welcome to another episode of A Taste of RPGs from the Ann Arbor District Library in Michigan. This show celebrates the wide diversity of RPGs and the modern movement that expands upon what D&D laid down for us originally. This time we're playing Shiver. This is a great RPG by Charlie and Barney Menzies with very, very iconic artwork from Ben Alexander. And we are playing a game set in the Wild West. But as it's Shiver, we know there will be quite a few elements of horror. So we hope you enjoy it. We're just about ready to introduce our characters. Does anyone... Oh, and let me introduce who we have today. My name's Christopher, and I'm joined as always by Marissa and Audrey, and we have a special guest today, Elizabeth. We're so happy to have you here.
So my character is Horace Snapple. He was He was a surgeon and quit his job after finding an unexplained parasite inside of a patient. And so now he's a cryptid researcher traveling the world trying to identify like the origin of the parasite and also like other monsters that he believes exist. And his descendants do go on to found the Snapple company, in case you're
I want to be Maddie Elmsley, the second fastest gun in the West. Went out west to find, fortune, fame, got in a dispute and lost. And then I'm still here for some reason.
Yeah, so I was thinking about naming my character Huck Sturman. And they are a snake oil salesperson. Well, we don't know what they're selling, obviously, but they like to call it Obadiah's cure-all tonic. And no one really knows where this person came from, why they're here, but, Huck is out here to make a profit, really, is really all that Huck cares about. And Huck has an animal friend, while Huck is really good at manipulating people, not good with like personal relationships, so has this animal companion. It is a cat, obviously.
Our tale begins in the small frontier town of Hope's Hollow, a place where many a dream has traveled and many a dream has died. Prospectors desperately sift for gold in the hills, hunting for fortune, while others try to tame the land, although the soil ain't much to write home about. But people persevere, and although they may not thrive, they at least survive. Times, however, are changing. Industry has come to Hope's Hollow in the form of Cornwell Consolidated, a large mining operation. But work has suddenly ceased, and the miners have not returned to town in 2 days. All except one, that is, raving lunacy through the streets about something down in the pit. Mr. Cornwell and Sheriff Elsie Mullins are putting together a posse to go check things out. A handsome reward in tow for any who sign up. So, at the beginning of the game, where are all of you?
Probably be in the saloon.
And Huck is in the saloon trying to peddle this Obadiah's cure-all tonic, as usual.
And how's business today?
That's a little bit slow, actually. Thank you for asking.
I think that I do sometimes moonlight as like a doctor surgeon to augment my income on my travels, but I think today I'm also probably in the saloon because all the miners haven't been back for 2 days, so I have no patients, right? So
Right. Into the saloon comes Mr. Cornwell, and he loudly clamors on the bar with his glass and says, "Attention, everybody! You know, we've lost our miners, and we need to go get them. I am now offering the princely sum of $2 for anyone to go investigate what happened to our miners. We've lost brave husbands, sons, and lovers in the mine. Who's with me to go down and find out where they are?"
Well, I've already died once, so sign me up. I could use $2 to drink away the memories, what it's like.
As I said, business is very slow today, so I am down to go get $2. Absolutely.
Fantastic. And $2 is a lot of money.
More than
Yeah.
I'm going to make in a day.
I think I am also going to volunteer to tag along because my cryptid radar is tingling because they've been gone for 2 days. So like I'm a curious person.
Exactly. So joining you on this adventure is the sheriff, who's not afraid to go and investigate. And also Mr. Cornwell is sending Mr. Smith, who is Cornwell's right-hand man, to keep an eye on everything. Mr. Cornwell has also said, if anyone can recover anything from the sight of the mind to help explain what could be going on, that he will reward them with an extra $5. You're all stopped there for lunch. The horses are grazing. And why don't the three of you make a wit check?
0 success, 1 strange.
All right. So the 0 success and 1 strange is going to tick the doom clock up by 1. So in this case, Maddie and Horace, you see in the distance, not that far away, there's a bunch of trees nearby, and you see a bunch of wolves coming out of the trees. Even though it's daylight, the wolves are coming right at you. So at least you won't be surprised. But living on the frontier, you know that wolves charging at you is not a good sign. They're not here for a chat and a scratch on the ear.
Maddie, it's a pack of rabid wolves.
Oh, that's not good in the daytime. I mean, my instinct is to skedaddle, but
the way combat works is it's quite loose. You can theoretically move, attack, and do an interact action on your turn. Move, you're going to move, X number of feet. I didn't bother writing any of that in. Attack is to make an attack, and you'll know which characteristic you're rolling by your weapon. It states, you're rolling grit or wit or whatever. And interact is something like give something to someone, pick something up, do something like that. So Horace and Maddie, you're going to be first, and Huck, you're going to be last, and the sheriff and Mr. Smith are going to go in the middle.
So do I roll, what is it? I roll
wit for the pistol?
Exactly right.
wit. Okay. Well, 0 success, 2 strange, 1 luck.
Okay, so the 0 success, just for the sake of you all knowing how the game is played, these wolves have a challenge rating of 1. So you're only looking for a single success. And also, so you know how the game is played, they have a health of 12. So that's a lot. And your pistol, for example, is doing 2.
2. Mm-hmm.
Yep, each time.
Christopher, you're going to murder us with these wolves.
I very well may, but in case that happens, I'll bring you all back to life magically.
Maddie will be like, God damn it.
Again.
Fortunately, you do have the sheriff, who's a good shot, and Mr. Smith.
Hopefully it has like a shotgun or something.
Right. So how many strange did you get?
2.
For us, 2. Okay.
Double number.
Great. And Maddie?
Okay, I got a 1 success, 1 strange.
So we don't count that strange because you have a success.
Okay.
And so that's 1 attack of, is it 2 points?
Yeah, 2 pierce.
Great. And all of these modifiers really don't come into play in this. So it's just a straight 2. All right. So the sheriff's going to roll, and all right. So the sheriff hits. You're not really paying much attention because you're so frantically tracking these wolves and trying to aim yourselves. And Mr. Smith, all right. You hear people firing around you. And Maddie, what do?
Or Huck?
Huck?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, sorry. Huck. Yeah, excuse me.
I also have a pistol. And I roll 0 success, 0 strange.
Just firing into the air like me.
Yeah.
Wolves are speedy. It's okay.
They are. So now the wolves are closing on you. I will say another interesting aspect of this game is that enemies get to react as well as attack. So every time you attack someone, there's a chance that they're going to do something, and you roll on a table to see what it is they do in particular, as well as getting a chance to attack. So it's kind of a fun little narrative mechanic there. You are all in luck because the sheriff and Mr. Smith are ace shots. And as you hear their pistols blast out in the afternoon sun, they say, "Haven't you been practicing at all? And you brought a cudgel to a wolf fight? What is that? Boy, they're not paying me enough to ride with this outfit, I'll tell you that." And they just look disgustedly at the three of you. But
I really want to give the evil eye to them, but I know they just saved my life, so okay.
I am arrogant according to my character sheet, and I don't like this.
you're at the lip of a great hole in the ground, and you're looking over the ledge into this great hole. And by hole, it's really a large open mine area. You see several buildings on the level below. You see piles of earth. You see what looks like a central elevator shaft building with other buildings scattered around. So he's able to point out the central elevator shaft. There's a bunkhouse, a storeroom, a foreman's office.
Oh, I was asking if I can go to the foreman's office and rifle around.
Yeah. So,
like specifically looking for anything that's like a captain's log, but for like mining, if that makes sense.
So Mr. Smith really wants to keep a close eye on you because remember, he's part of Cornwall Consolidated and he doesn't really want you rifling through much.
Okay. Can I try and give him the slip first?
Yeah. Or someone else could try to distract him.
Yeah.
I can try because I'm a con man socialite and I'm ready to use
Exactly. So Huck, what do you want to do with Mr. Smith?
I want to try to distract him by just talking to him about my business ventures.
I imagine you're quite a fast talker and you're kind of dizzying in your barrage of words. Is that right?
Yes.
Fantastic. So I think you're going to roll 5 plus your 1 talent die.
1 success and 4 strange.
Okay. Do you have any luck die that you had banked? I think we can say you banked 1. While you're assaulting him with all of these words and a very enthusiastic sales pitch, Horace is able to rifle through what is a giant cubicle wall full of pieces of paper that look like they're for each of the miners. So it's a giant cubicle wall with papers and mail for each of the miners to take back or to be sent back to the town. So, Horace, you're able to find a letter, and it says, "My dearest Mary, work continues as normal down in the mine. No accidents of late, which have been a blessing, although the deeper we get, the tougher the work becomes. Sometimes it feels like rock that deep don't want to be mined. A weird, a weird thought, I know, but being in the dark all day plays tricks on the mind, something fierce. We'll be cracking our way into a new seam tomorrow. It's dangerous work, but if it finds what Mr. Cornwell is looking for, then we'll all get bonuses, good ones too. Maybe enough for us to get a place somewhere. I'll write again as soon as I can." This strikes you as particularly strange because Cornwell Consolidated is a mine for gold.
Mhm.
And from what you gather from this letter, it doesn't exactly sound like Cornwell is really looking for gold. With a jolt, the elevator creaks and begins to slowly go down into the ground, the ropes suspending the cage groaning in protest. The light from the surface begins to fade as you plunge into the depths, the only illumination available emanating from the candles, torches, and lanterns that you carry. The elevator descends deeper and deeper through the strata of the peak, each creak of the mechanism lowering you slowly further and further into the dark. As you get close to what you think might be the bottom of the elevator shaft, the shadows cast from your lantern begin to play tricks on your eyes. Shapes move in the darkness, and flickers of the lamp catch the lips of the great gouge marks in the side of the shaft. Any focus of your attention on a specific point is foiled by the dancing shadows and ever-growing darkness. With a heavy thunk that seems to echo through the empty mine, the elevator reaches the bottom of the shaft and locks into place. Pulling back the metal gate, you find yourself at the entrance to the Deadwater mine. So the elevator gate opens up and it is dark down there. So thankfully you have a lamp, and let's say you've got some torches and or candles, but they're not doing much to really illuminate things. You've really got to hold your lamp or candle up close to the walls to see anything around you. All right. In this first room, right off the elevator, you can see a few carts are strewn around. There is some mining gear, smashed lamps, and you notice a helmet with blood smeared across it. Something definitely bad happened here, and it doesn't look like many people got out. You suddenly feel, you hear a little popping noise,
Oh dear.
and you feel something liquidy and wet hit your face that's burning.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to take one damage from this acidy.
Did it spit at me?
It did.
Okay.
So with all of that commotion over, you hear some kind of noise coming from the next room. Maybe human. You can't really make out what it is. And the sheriff says, "Do you hear that?"
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So the sheriff walks into the next room with a torch, looking around, You see huddled in a corner, there's a man in mining gear facing away from you, trembling in fear and sobbing. As he turns nervously to look at you, you see streaks of black liquid staining his skin, running from his eyes, ears, and the corner of his mouth. He whispers hoarsely, "Help me, please."
I think we should kill him.
Absolutely.
Or we want to just like throw some of this tonic down his throat and see what happens.
I mean, yeah, you can try your tonic, but I might have to just shoot him in the head.
I'm with Maddie.
So, Huck, as you get closer with your tonic, you see his eyes are all burned out and he has no eyes at all.
Okay, I'm just gonna like throw it at him and like back up.
So, do you give him the bottle?
Yeah.
Okay. So he decides to take a big swig. And let's see where you are, the con man. Okay, he's going to roll luck. And the doom clock ticks forward. And he says, this stuff again? I can't stand this tonic. So the sheriff says, "Oh my God, it's Jack."
Not Jack.
Right.
It is Jack, in fact.
Can I roll and try to do telepathy on him?
So you hear a really, really loud crashing behind you that sounds like something hit the roof of the elevator. All you can figure out is that a rock must have fallen from the elevator shaft and has hit the top of the elevator. So you can either go back to investigate that or you can press on. And you do receive a vision of looking at the elevator and frantically waiting for it to move. While you're looking back over your shoulder and you're just you're hitting the elevator button and it's not moving.
Y'all, I don't feel good about being in this cave. I have a feeling the elevator might not work. And maybe we should cut our losses. I don't think anyone is alive.
"Where are you going?" says Mr. Smith.
Mr. Smith, you're full of shit. You can stay down here if you want to.
And he's got two hands on his rifle. And he says, "We haven't finished investigating what killed all the miners."
What are you, stupid, man? Listen, Mr. Smith. I don't know what you're possibly willing to die for, but I don't know about this.
Yeah, I need to get paid a lot more money to maybe die down here.
So,
like, what's going on, Mr. Smith? We know you're not here for gold.
So Mr. Smith now points his gun at the three of you. He'll point it at, he can't really cover all of you. He points it at Huck. But he's kind of waving it around back and forth. And he says, "We've got to find out what killed these miners."
Yeah, but why?
We know it was that little oil monster.
Yeah, there's probably a lot more.
Oil monster, what is that? I didn't see anything.
What do you mean you didn't see anything? You didn't see that thing that came out of that body I hooked out and like gave
It
me?
was so dark. It could have been a weasel.
A weasel? You think a weasel did this to my face? A weasel would not make me this theoretically attractive in the future once this heals.
You and you were going through that tunnel.
What weasels do you think live in mines? I have a follow-up question.
Mr. Smith
The
cocks
only
his
weasel I
gun.
see down here is you.
There we go.
Ooh.
There we go. Thank you.
He does not like that. And the sheriff says, "Now, Smith, just take it easy. We know that Cornwell hires a lot of people and pulls a lot of weight in this town, but this is not the way to go about things." And Smith says, "You shut up."
Can I send my cat to like bring him down unawares?
Yeah.
So,
So, Huck,
you had a
what do you
cat.
want to do? You
so
can
the best
narrate this.
buddies thing, I don't know how that works. It says like animal companion, 8 health, 3 skill points.
Yep. So you have a close connection with your animal companion, and it's quite well trained. So what would you like your companion to do?
I want him to kind of like knock over the sheriff or Mr. Smith, just knock him over.
Yeah.
And he's pretty strong.
A cat may not be able to knock over a person, but
Just like jump on him and like scare
There you
him
go.
so he drops his gun. I got a 2.
okay. So your cat jumps on Mr. Smith's neck, clawing and biting, and that's definitely enough to distract Mr. Smith momentarily. What do the rest of you want to do? What do all 3 of you want to do?
Pickaxe him.
Sounds great. Give it a roll.
Okay. I'm going to use a luck point. I've been waiting for this moment. Oh, fuck. I got 2 strange and another luck thing.
Okay. And Maddie?
His like face is going to come off and it's going to be like Mr. Cornwall. Like,
Or an android.
right. Like, yeah, he's going to start spewing milk.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna use telekinesis, and then I'm gonna try to say like, okay, you go look then, and then I'm gonna try to just push him into that room.
Okay.
Roughly.
Great. Why don't you roll? So you're going to roll strange versus his grit.
2 success and 2 strange.
Ooh, you're lucky. So you beat his grit roll. So he flies in the other room and you hear him hit the far wall and with a loud thud.
Do we hear anything else? Like a follow-up scream?
Nope. As you're contemplating, you hear Mr. Smith start screaming.
There it is.
Yeah, it's time to go.
We're going to look at the sheriff. Be like,
The sheriff says, "Let's get out of here."
Great.
cool.
Awesome.
Love it.
All right.
Oh, before we go, I'm just going to like put the amulet like in the room.
You're not gonna take it?
No, let's take it.
Yeah.
We might need that. We don't
Yeah,
know.
forget
I need
Mr.
it.
Smith.
Then we
He's
can,
dead
like-
to us.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking like so couldn't get out of the room, but we can put
Oh.
it. Well, I think dynamiting the thing in will be better. So let's do that.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're still outside. Well, you never went in that room, but
Nope.
Mr. Smith is in there screaming.
Yeah.
Yep, time to go.
If you want to use some dynamite, you're going to use wit to place it properly and to light it. I know you have matches already. So where are you going to put it?
Do you want to cave this room in or do you want to cave in farther back?
Or do you want to throw it?
Probably throw it.
It'll chuck.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe like after the room with the cave paintings that we saw.
Right, because we each have one, right? So we could
Yeah.
throw one and then run back to the elevator, place another one.
Yeah.
go up, and then throw some more.
I feel like we throw one in and then we place two together strategically.
Okay. All right. So the first throw, who's going to make the first throw?
I have 3 for wit, but I have 1,000,000,000 luck points, so I'm also happy to use a luck to make it 4.
Why don't you do it then?
So you can only bank 1 luck at a time.
Oh, okay. Well, I definitely have one banked because they keep
You do. So,
coming.
Horace, make your throw.
Okay. I got 2 strange. Because that's how we roll today.
Unfortunately, as you're throwing, you see the wick fall out of the dynamite.
Don't
So
go back for
that
it.
was a dud.
Okay, time to go.
Mm-mm.
So are you all
I imagine
running?
Mr. Smith is just screaming this whole time. So
Yes, he is.
Yeah, let's maybe retreat a little bit and then place some,
yeah.
and then continue to retreat.
So we have
Okay.
the blast caps or whatever too.
So as you're retreating, you hear some kind of horrible squelching sound, some kind of slopping noise.
Can we
following you.
retreat faster?
Yep.
Do you wanna stop and light the dynamite? Or are you gonna
They
try to
move-
light it as you go?
They move pretty fast, don't they? Kind
Mhm.
of skittish.
That one did kind of. I feel like we could get out. Like worst comes to worst, we get out and then we drop the dynamite down the shaft and call it a day.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're still running.
Yep.
Yeah. And
Running
then
to get to the elevator.
Yep.
All right.
throw in behind us.
You're gonna throw in behind you?
Do it. Yeah. It might slow it down, which would be worth it.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. I'm gonna.
All right.
There's
Roll.
there's more dynamite up top
Right.
with the store. So
Right.
That's true.
That's what
So-
I'm thinking.
Maddie, you're gonna roll your wit.
0 success. 0 strange though.
Okay. So so for some reason this one doesn't go off either.
Mr. Smith gave us shitty dynamite on
Yeah.
purpose.
Cheap
You don't know.
townsman, Mr. whoever his name is.
It could have gotten wet somehow. It's a wet place. This is old dynamite. So something's not working very well.
These corporations skimping on safety.
That's
And on
Get outta here.
dynamite budgets.
so you make it to the elevator and Jack is still there.
Right.
And you open up the gate, and what do you do now?
Push that button.
Okay.
Do we
you
need to
bring-
try and get the rock off?
So this is a giant rock. You can't get to the shaft above the elevator. It's all enclosed in a gate.
Yeah.
So you realize the elevator is it's straining to take you up, but it seems like there are too many people in the elevator.
Is there a ladder?
There's no ladder, but you wonder maybe if some of you got out, that maybe the elevator would move.
Man, I'm
Sorry, Jack.
Well, yeah, Jack's got to go, obviously.
Mhm.
He's also our only proof, though. Maybe the
He is
sheriff
our
will
proof.
stay. Jack, I feel bad for Jack. We can't.
I know. I do feel bad for Jack. I also don't know if one person's going to be enough.
Well, that's true. I'm worried one person's not going to be enough.
As you're thinking and debating and trying to get the elevator to work,
Mhm.
you hear that slopping, squelching sound getting closer and closer.
Fuck, you got to use your dynamite.
Yeah, can I throw my dynamite at it? Is that going to kill us? What else can we
Let's
do?
see. You are underground.
In a confined space.
I think I have a luck, so I'm going to add that to my.
There you go. To your wit.
Yeah. Oh my God, one strange.
Oh my god.
R.I.P.
This is terrible, wet dynamite. Yeah,
Okay.
not working very well. What you see is this black, blobby figure, but it's not that smooth. It's more like thick in some spots, and you can start to see maybe there are bodies or pieces of something that have been encased in this moving mass. And the surface is unbroken until you see a bunch of eyes come to the surface that are staring at you unblinking. And suddenly, Maddie, you realize the vision that you had earlier has come to pass.
Yeah.
Can I use telekinesis on just an object? It says versus enemy grit. Can I use it on the rock though?
Yeah, you can pick up rocks.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Can I try to move? Is there a weight limit? Can I try and move the rock from on top of the elevator shaft?
Yes.
Throw it onto the monster?
So you can't throw it onto the monster because it's like a closed cage.
Oh, okay. Can I just move it then?
You can try to move it.
Yeah, let's do that. Because I don't know what else to do.
Yeah.
3 success, 3 strange.
Oh my God. So that's a lot of success. So you realize you are levitating the rock above the elevator. So inside the elevator shaft, the rock is now rising up through the shaft.
Great. So it starts going?
Yeah. So all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of you. It's the 3 of you plus the sheriff plus Jack. You got the cage door closed and the elevator is going up.
Okay. Should we? Is it still coming?
It is coming, but now
Okay,
you're.
shoot it.
Oh
Shoot
yeah,
it.
you can shoot it with your pistols.
Yep. Shoot it through the elevator. To
Right.
slow it down.
It's not like an elevator at work.
Yeah. It's
like,
the old.
That's right. It's all a cage. So you roll to shoot and doesn't seem to have much effect, but you do find yourselves at the top of the mine, and the strain of Maddie using telekinesis was a lot. You're exhausted, but the rock drops off to the side and you're at the top of the mine shaft.
Fantastic. All right, let's go to the store real quick.
Dynamite.
Yep.
How are we going to get it though? Because Mr. Smith had the key.
Well, it doesn't matter if we break the door down.
Yeah, we can
You're right. You're right.
He's not here anymore.
Hey, the Wild West is a rough place.
We have guns. We can break it, smash it off.
Yeah, break down the door, get a bunch of dynamite.
Great. You've got all the dynamite. And you blow up the mine shaft. Is that right?
Yep,
Yeah.
that's correct.
Yep.
Okay. Makes a huge explosion, and you feel, you're hopeful at least, that whatever was down there has been trapped until the next foolhardy person decides to see what's inside the bowels of the earth. The end.
That's episode 2 is us plotting, I think, to murder the rich man in town.
Yeah.
And to bring in Wild West OSHA.
Yeah.
I mean, were you predicting us to murder Mr. Smith?
No, but that was cool too. I mean, he threatened you first.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
He was
had
walking
left
on thin
the
ice.
whole time and gave us shitty dynamite.
But
Right.
also, the cat companion was crucial.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was waiting for it to come and play. It's like this cat is amazing.
So that's Shiver. You can imagine if we could play in person, rolling the dice is really fun. It's a little bit more fun than using an online app, but I think still gives you a little bit of flavor of how things go. And I didn't want things to just bog down with a lot of back and forth dice rolling, because that is the often the least interesting part of a game. It doesn't have to be, but it can be.
Yeah. It was fun. Yeah.
It was super fun.
Thank you, Christopher.
Oh,
Thank
sure. Yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed it. What happens to your characters once they get back to town?
We better get that reward.
Well, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if they're gonna give it to us.
Yeah.
Or if we're gonna have to plot the murder of the big boss, or we all just leave town.
Yeah. It's hard to know without knowing how Mr. Cornwall or whatever reacts.
Yeah.
Not well.
Yeah, not well.
I can't believe it's
Yeah.
happening.
I feel like we either have to murder him or leave town.
Yeah.
Right.
Both, honestly.
Well, does anyone have any last comments for this episode? All right. Well, we all hope you've enjoyed watching us play Shiver, and we want to especially thank Elizabeth for coming to join this episode. Hope you had a good time, and we'll be back next time. What are we playing next time?
Fiasco, of course.
We are, of course, playing Fiasco. So thanks a lot for watching. Take care.